Looking back on the films I watched in August, the hit rate was high this month. I didn't watch many films, but the ones that I did ended up being some of my favourites for the whole of 2022. First, I watched the original Hairspray, directed by John Waters. Even though this film was a solid watch and full of wonderful campy moments, in my eyes it doesn't compare to the 2007 remake. I think this is a case of watching a remake before the original and then that becoming the original and preferred choice to you. Next, I watched Drive My Car, one of my favorite movies of 2022. The film, based on a short story by Murakami, is about a grieving man who is provided a driver by a theatre company as he works on the production of his new play. The words that come to mind when I think of this film are stoic, sad, existential, and thoughtful, and I think that's the best way to describe this film without saying too much. At times, it can feel slow and repetitive, but as you watch the film, it gently reveals itself and is quietly impactful. I didn't know much about this film before watching, and I'm glad I didn't. I feel I may have said too much before, but I only say it to strongly encourage you to go and watch this film. Don't be deterred by the runtime, just carve out an afternoon and watch it. You won't regret it. Also, this film does something that you don't often see in films, but I absolutely love when it happens. And if you can guess what it is, let me know in the comments what you think it might be. Then I watched Decision to Leave, which I won't go into as much as I have done a full review of this on my channel a few months ago. But I will say that it was robbed of Oscar nominations and well worth all the accolades it can get. I also watched Broker, which I have a separate review for on my channel also. I didn't love it as much as Decision to Leave, but I found it to be a solid, interesting family drama. After that, I watched Close, a French-Belgian film that made waves at Cannes and has been floating around this award season. The film is about two boys entering high school who have an intimate yet undefined friendship and are accused by their peers for being gay. The rumors affect each boy differently with strong consequences. The first half of this film is literally flawless. The acting, the pacing, and editing, the shots and the cinematography are all so stunning. The film builds towards a midpoint, which afterwards the film really takes a turn and becomes quite disappointing. The film becomes this repetitive one note of melodrama, and the only thing saving it is the performances by the lead boys. I still believe it's worth a watch, but I don't think that it's the revelation that crowds are painting it to be. The final film I watched in August was Head On, an Australian drama about the day in the life of a Greek-Australian man clashing with his family, society, and cultural expectations, as well as his sexual desires. The film is so frenetic and emotionally charged that by the end you feel as wound up and as frustrated as the character. The editing feels like a cross between an action film and a music video. The plot is wild, and you never really get a chance to catch your breath as you watch the movie. In the context of 1990s Australia, it feels like a very brave film to have that is so bold and angry about themes of culture and sexuality. And I appreciate the bravery in this film, especially when you recognise that films like this don't come around too often in the Australian film scene, at least these days. So that sums up all the films that I watched in August of 2022. It was probably one of the stronger months for watchers with some really good options that I would recommend. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.